Welcome back. It is Friday, April 12th in the NBA. My 5 best bets are on the way. Let's recap yesterday. A little bit of a mini sweep, a 2-0 day. We will take it. Josh Hart's over in rebounds, sweat-free. The man had 10 in the first half. I think he ended with 16. And then the Blazers, same game parlay, cashed relatively sweat-free, 8 to score 20, and Scoot to get 15 and 7 assists, plus 150. We will take that. A winner all around. Let's dominate on a 17-5 run. If we've been helping you make some money, do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button down below. Drop a like if you want to support the channel and join the DubClub or become a COS All-Star. Get all our plays early. All those details are down below. Now, I have some sad news for the people out there. If you're looking for an NBA video on Saturday, you're not going to find one. Why is that? Because there's no NBA games on tomorrow. Every single team plays today. We got 15 games, 30 teams in action. Everyone gets tomorrow off, and then everyone once again plays again on Sunday. So enjoy the day off tomorrow. Hopefully we can have a 5-0 sweep and recap that on Sunday morning. Worth noting, I will be out of town, but I'll be having and cranking out the picks and videos for you on the way to a wedding. Actually recording this a little bit earlier than usual, around 5 a.m. But without further ado, let's dive into the picks today because we got a lot of them. The first one is going to be a guy that, come on, we know him. He's made us a lot of money this season, especially recently. It is Victor Wembanyama. I love his over 28.5 points plus assists, minus 111 on FanDuel. Now I would play this for one unit at 29.5. I looked at his PRA line, which is about 39, 40.5. I don't hate that, but at the end of the day, I think he's going to have to get a lot of points and assists to get it done. And we have been rolling with just Wemby's regular over and assists. It was about 4.5 today at about minus 145. I don't mind that. However, I'm going to tack on the points here today because I really like the matchup against Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets. Now, the Nuggets, if we're being honest, don't have a ton to play for. Their next two games, their last two games are against the Spurs and the Grizzlies. I believe if they win one of them, they will clinch the number one seed. So I don't think they're necessarily going to be too locked in like they were in that Timberwolves game. And they haven't been really as good on the road. And I think the Spurs can keep this game competitive. Heck, they just played a few days ago. Wembanyama, 23 points and 8 assists, cashing this over. He shot 9 of 29, 31% from the field, also had 12 potential assists. It was one of those games where we're riding his over and assists, and he climbed the ladder for us in that game. Now, if Wembanyama gets anywhere even remotely close to 29 field goal attempts, I'd be willing to bet this has like a 98% hit rate. End of the day, he did not make any shots and still cleared the line relatively easily. And I really like him to once again do that again tonight. I mean, we've talked with the Spurs. They're down so many guys. They're down Keldon Johnson. Now he's out. They're down Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, and a bunch of other characters out there. And so they don't really have a choice but to force feed Wembanyama the ball and also let him figure it out on offense. And they're going to continue to let him develop. I mean, at the end of the day, the Spurs, they rested him last game on a back-to-back, but I don't think they're necessarily concerned about Wembanyama's health, and they kind of want to see him matched up against Jokic. It's kind of like playing with a new toy. I mean, you're facing arguably the best player in the NBA. Let's see what Wemby can do, but at the end of the day, this is just a good spot for Wemby. At home, he's been really good too. His last 3 home games, 39, 37, and 47 points plus assists on 22, 22, and 20 field goal attempts. So, at the end of the day, he's going to come out here and do his thing. Last game, 0 for 5 from 3, so probably bounces back and shoots a little bit better. But the Nuggets are a good defensive team. They got good defenders out there. KCP, they got guys like Aaron Gordon too, but none of those guys are matching up on Wembanyama. So at the end of the day, Wembanyama honestly has one of the best matchups for them against Nikola Jokic, who's going to play a lot of drop coverage. Wemby should get plenty of open opportunities, and I think he's going to knock down some shots for us tonight. So give me his over in points plus assists, just the 1 unit play, but one of my favorite picks of the day. If he obviously gets limited and doesn't play a ton of minutes, whatever, we'll chalk it up to the game, but I think he does not have a minutes restriction tonight. Wemby, and we've seen him honestly hit this over with a minutes restriction. I need 30 points plus assists, technically 29, but we'll ask for another one for the people that have to take a bumped up line. Second pick of the day is the first quarter prop. Our last one was PJ Washington. He clanked it up, but I'm confident that this guy will get the job done. And it's a guy that, you know what? Heck, we'll throw this guy in the thumbnail. Maybe not, because I don't know if he plays. But it's Joel Embiid over 7.5 first quarter points, minus 108 on Caesars. As I said, no guarantee Embiid plays. I do want to put a caveat out there. There will be no added plays. We're going to have 5 in this video. That is plenty of action on a Friday NBA slate. Now, with Joel Embiid, like I said, he is questionable here. If he doesn't play, just fast forward to the third pick. But I anticipate him being out there because they're kind of ramping him up and they don't play tomorrow. So I just think this 7.5 line is a little soft. I mean, heck, his regular points line's like 30.5. So they're expecting him to score 30 points. And typically that's to do a lot of his damage in the first quarter. Now, his last 3 games, Embiid has scored 13, 7, and 10 points. He has played 8, 8, and 9 minutes and shot 7, 4, and 5 field goal attempts plus an extra 2, 2, and 4 free throw attempts. We know Embiid, what is he capable of doing? Capable of going and getting to the free throw line We know he does that. People are annoyed, but he's also just has high usage and plays typically a lot of minutes in the first quarter. He got ramped up, saw an extra minute in the last first quarter. Maybe he plays a little bit more in the first quarter tonight, but even if he doesn't, he's still been easily able to clear this in 8 to 9 minutes of action. And I really think this is a solid spot for him against the Magic. Now, what it isn't a solid spot for is his teammates, because the Magic are one of the best defenses in the league, give up very little catch and shoot opportunities, but they do give up a lot of pull-up opportunities, and Wendell Carter Jr. is no matchup for Embiid, and he's taken advantage of that matchup. Since 2022, he's faced Orlando 6 times. He has scored 10, 20, 7, 8, 16, and 15 points, going over in 5 of 6. The only game he missed, shot 3 for 10 from the field. No field goal, free throw attempts either. If Embiid shoots 10 times tonight in the first quarter, I will live with this bet any day of the week. But this season, he's averaging 11.4 points per game in the first quarter on 11.5 minutes per game. Obviously, I don't expect him to play 11 minutes or the full first quarter, but if he gets close to 9 or 10 minutes, like he kind of played last game, I'll live with this bet. He just gets too high of a usage. Embiid should be able to get us 8 points. I really think this is just too good of a spot. If he gets like I said, if he gets 12 minutes, should be sweat free. He does all of his scoring here. Tyrese Maxey should be back in this game, should be able to get him some more clean looks. But at the end of the day, they just have no matchup, and I don't expect the Magic to double Embiid at the top of the key, especially not in the first quarter. Maybe later on in the game if he's cooking yet, but the first quarter I think he gets to his spots, and let's just hope he's knocking him down, gets to the free throw line. Embiid, I really like his over in first quarter points. Now my third play is going to be one that's going to trigger some people out there. And if you know, if you're one of the people triggered, you know who you are. Jaylen Brunson, over 6.5 assists, minus 120 on Bet365. Now, individual line, I don't mind the 7.5, but Brunson has ended on 7 assists, a good amount. So if it does bump to 7.5, I'd only play it for half a unit. I like this up to about minus 130, minus 135. Now, like I said, why does it trigger some people? Because if you had Brunson assist yesterday, you're probably pretty pissed because he had 5 at halftime. I believe they took away an assist. He had 4, technically, and then he ended with 4. He cooked the Celtics in the third quarter and did not play in the fourth. Now, they are in a back-to-back to face the Nets, and I like this matchup a lot more for him to get assists because the Nets, let's be honest, they kind of stink. Now, in Brunson's last 13 games, he has averaged about 7.8 assists per game. He's had 6 assists, so at least getting to the hook. In 12 of 13, 7 assists, and 10 of 13 is misses. The last game against Boston, a game against San Antonio where he scored 61, and then a game against Detroit. But during that time span, averaging nearly 14 potential assists. And look, yesterday just not the best matchup for assists against the Celtics, but he just has too high of a usage, and I think this is a spot where I like to back assists, especially against the Nets. Now, this team just played a few weeks ago on March 23rd. That was a game Brunson had 8 assists. He didn't shoot the ball well, 7 for 24, but 18 potential assists. The Nets have some decent defenders out there. Maybe Bridges goes out there and guards Brunson for the 10 minutes they let Bridges play. But also, this is just, I think, a matchup where I like them because the Nets give up a good amount of catch and shoot opportunities, and they're at home where I expect the role players for the Knicks to play and shoot a little bit better. But this has just been too good of a spot for point guards. I mean, we just saw Quickly have 9 assists versus them. We saw Sabonis, a high assist guy, had 9. Ivy had 10 with his teammate Marcus Saucer had 6. You saw Halliburton have 13 and 8. I just think that this is a spot where Brunson can just find his teammates. They'll knock down some shots, especially being back at home. I think this game's competitive. I mean, this is a guy in Brunson that's been averaging, upwards of 14, 15 potential assists a game, 65 made passes per game. I think the guys will be open given the Nets don't have the best crew of defenders out there. They also have some guys that like to camp in the paint trying to go for block shots like Nick Claxton. So I think we see some guys get some open opportunities, and I think that we see them knock down some shots. So Brunson, one of my favorite picks of the day. He's been a COS Hall of Famer the last 2 years. I like his over 6.5 assists at minus 120. Now my third pick is going to be a same game parlay. And it is one featuring actually 2 former teammates of Jaylen Brunson that currently play for the Raptors. I really like this SGP. It would be a bigger play, but it is the Raptors, and there's no guarantee either of these guys plays a ton of minutes. It is RJ Barrett to score 15 points, and Emmanuel Quickly to get 15 points and 5 assists, plus 105 on Bet365. If I'm being honest, I was looking for a 6 assist line, but Bet365 does not give you 6 plus assist lines. And DraftKings, I don't think they were much worse value for this identical parlay. I don't have a line for FanDuel. They don't have lines for Raptors players, so you can wait for it. I have no idea what it'll be, but at plus 105, I honestly think this should be closer to minus 140, if we're being honest. And sure, could they get limited minutes? Yeah, but I don't really think the Raptors give one, for being honest. They just kind of do whatever the hell they want. They were playing quickly in the fourth quarter of a game. They were down 50 points. They do not give a damn. I mean, let's be honest. They are just going to go out there and have some fun. And that's what we're looking for. Now, since Quickly's return, he has played in 3 games with Barrett. And in those games, he has scored 20, 25, and 31 points, as well as 6, 9, and 13 assists. He's had 15 and 5, 15 points, 5 assists, and 8 straight with Barrett. Now, obviously, these guys have been in and out of the lineup, and obviously, they've played some weak competition. I'm going to be honest, you're playing the Wizards, teams like that. Sure, you're probably going to have good games. And while this is a tough matchup against the Heat, I'm not necessarily concerned about the Heat. We're going to be honest. The Heat just have looked weird, and I'm not too concerned about them, these 2 guys, because they're the 2 guys that are going to have elite volume for the Raptors. And even if they are getting smoked, these guys will play minutes in the 3rd quarter, most likely, and I think they'll be able to get us 15 points apiece. Now, in Barrett's last 3 games with Quickly, he scored 28, 26, and 22 on 18 field goal attempts on each of them. He scored 15 plus in 8 straight with Quickly. At the end of the day, these are 2 guys that I'm pretty confident they're not blowout proof, but they're going to get their field goal attempts, and even if they shoot poorly, I think they can get to 15 points each. The guys they have too much volume. I mean, they're playing, let's be honest, the Raptors have a lot of guys that don't deserve to be on an NBA roster or floor. They have a lot of guys out there that are not good. But Quickly and Barrett are going to go out there and get their usage. Is it a tough matchup against the Heat? Sure. But they already factor that into their regular prop lines. So I'm really confident both these guys can get close to their regular lines, which are like 18.5 and 19.5. But I'll take their 15 points. I think they each get that relatively easily. If it's a block, I think they get that anyways. But Quickly should get those assists too. Like I said, he has the ball in his hands a ton. Hopefully he's dishing it to RJ Barrett. He's putting it in. When RJ's not scoring, it's Quickly doing his thing. So these 3 legs, same game parlay, plus 105. I wish it was better value, but honestly, I think that's a really good at plus money. This should not be plus money in my opinion. Now my 3rd and final play of the day will be just a half unit play. Now, if you're like, what the heck is a unit? Just a standard measurement of bankroll. This one is better value, so we're going to reduce the unit size, but I really like it. And it's 3 legs, none in the same game. So it's not a same game parlay, just a 3-leg parlay. Trey Jones over 6.5 assists, Kevin Durant 20 plus points, and Evan Mobley 10 plus points. Now, this is plus 210 on FanDuel. I think it was plus 210 on DraftKings too. Just playing a half unit play, so risk a half unit to win back over 1 unit. Now, if I'm going to be honest, I don't see a lot of ways where Durant doesn't score 20 tonight against the Kings. He's cooked this matchup before. He's getting a ton of volume. The Suns have so many reasons to want to win tonight to avoid the play-in game. And Durant, I'm going to low-key, he's kind of sucked the last few games and still getting the 20 points. If he even shoots remotely close, decently, he easily clears this, and he hasn't even shooting decently, but I just don't think the Kings have a good matchup for him. Same thing for Mobley. We're talking about the matchup against the Pacers, one that he has dominated. He's also coming off 2 bad shooting games, still got the 10 points that we need, but this is just a team and the Pacers that don't give up a lot of catch and shoot opportunities. That's good because Mobley doesn't really shoot catch and shoot. He's just kind of diving to the rim. So I think that we'll see Mobley get to 10 points. It's just been too good, and this is a big matchup for the Cavaliers, who are still obviously fighting for home court advantage in the playoffs. So I think he'll get his normal minutes. He should be able to get his 10 points. So at the end of the day, I think this comes down to Trey Jones, regular over an assist. Now, if Mobley or Durant sells, I'd be very surprised. I'm okay if Trey Jones doesn't come through because the 6.5 assists is his regular line. So if you're looking for an individual line, that's where you'd want to go. But I just didn't want to put 2 units on San Antonio Spurs. So I'll just do the 1.5 units, 1 unit on Wemby, half a unit, kind of including Trey Jones. He's just been really good against this matchup. Hit this 7 assists in 6 of his last 7 versus Denver. We just backed him for this number against Denver, and he had 11 assists on 23 potential assists. I just think that with KCP probably guarding him, he doesn't necessarily have a big job scoring, but this is a Spurs team with not a lot of playmakers. So they're going to push the pace, go up and down, and hopefully he's dishing it to Wanyama, who should get some wide open 3-point looks, and hopefully he makes those for us to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But I think this parlay, it's a Friday parlay. We're having some fun over here. We've been dialed in 17-5 run in the NBA. I like this one. So I'll take a chance on it. I'll take it plus 210. Put a half unit on it to win back a little over 1. Sure, why not? Let's have a little bit of fun on Friday. But those are my favorite picks of the day. 5 of them. Nothing else to add in this video or in the pinned comment. You guys have a wonderful Friday. Like I said, no video on Saturday. We'll have an MLB video, obviously, where we've been dialed in. Did have a bad day yesterday in the MLB, but we're not worried about one bad day. And then obviously, if you want to go check out, we have a new video on the second channel, a time in Fiji. Look, Fiji was magical. I encourage you to go check out that video. I'll link it on the screen. We stayed at an all-inclusive resort. It was nuts. Go check it out. Part of my honeymoon a few months back. But you guys have a wonderful Friday. I'll see you guys back again on Sunday with some more picks, and hopefully we can recap the 5-0 sweep. I'll see you guys then. Peace.